Welcome to Lucid Dreaming and the Cube of Space with the Alchemical Cabala. This past week, we've been listening within for the still small voice of the teacher. On the Cube of Space, the current of the teacher here comes up from below at the subconscious level of the cube and flows back up above towards the above face of the cube or the self-conscious mind. This is why we get very quiet and pay very close attention to hear and receive the voice of the teacher or the self coming through our subconscious mind. Now that we've been through the current of the teacher and received our inner instruction, experiences, and guidance, looking at the directions and currents of the cube, there's only one direction that we can go at this point on the periphery. So looking at this, can someone state, just by looking at the currents, what's available for our self-conscious mind and our awareness? What path is open? We've ascended the teacher all the way above. The
That'd
star
be
key,
the above eastern
yes,
current.
that is correct. Thank you. Right up here. The above east current. It's the only one available because the star key merges. This is revelation, and it merges with the teacher key, and they flow into the lover's key. So this is our key and current for this week. The lover's key, as you see, flows back towards the north on the cube. This is the current and path of a Zayin, the sword. Its function is discernment. So, group question, what is it that you think that we are discerning in this current and this path? Anyone?
The inner voice.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely that. And
Revelation or something along
yes,
those
one
lines.
absolutely perfect. Yes.
The
Essentially, what is
word
received.
for the word for the teacher is Vav, isn't it not? Is it not?
Yes. Yes.
So Yod Hey Vav Hey, and he is the voice. I
Yes.
understand. Yes. Uh, we have the two paths of mysticism and devotion, uh, and they are in balance.
Nice. Very nice. Okay, so you've discerned that. Excellent. What else? Anything else occur to anyone?
Truth.
Okay, great.
It's at the very top of the cube. It's the pinnacle.
Okay, right. Okay, those are excellent, excellent, excellent answers. Thank you all. So, as I think Starlet or many of you said or thought, one of the most important things that we're learning to discern is the voice of the true self, our true self, which I think someone brought up. Just did I hit record? I did, didn't I?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Thanks for reminding me. So I think someone brought up earlier before we were recording, that their experience when listening for the teacher was seeing all of the things that were needed to be cleared away. Well, this is a sword. So one of its functions is it cuts away that which is not the self, that which is not or no longer useful for us on our path in discerning self and our guidance. So that's something to contemplate. We've been graced through the current of the teacher with an experience or a transmission of wisdom. And it's through trial and error and learning to step out and act on our intuitions with trust. It's through this process that we learn to discern our real guidance from the countless thoughts and feelings of the lower mind, sometimes called the mass mind, or the noise of the world. All right. We're going to do something a little different this time before we get to our key. So before we get to our key for this week, we're going to review and practice as a group here one of the most potent techniques in Cabala when working with the keys, the tattvas, and or the letters. So everyone gets centered, take some deep breaths, relaxed, deep abdominal breaths. And I want you to focus right here at the top of the letter Zayin, which is the Hebrew letter, the seventh Hebrew letter, which means sword. And give your full attention right here as we're going through this. So one pointed attention, and breathe this image in and out and keep your focus, your visual awareness right here. Breathe this image deeply in and out. Do this for several breaths as you stare at the center of the top of the letter itself and keep your gaze right there. Relaxed, completely relaxed, and really deep breaths. Do not allow your vision to deviate from the center of the top of the letter Zayin. Staying relaxed but focused. You'll know you're doing this right when you start to sense the letter almost disappearing or shifting color. And in the peripheral vision, you'll see the orange circle or sphere almost disappear and shift color, but you're focused only on the top of the letter. Breathing it in and out, in and out. Staying focused here with your heart. You aim for the very highest good and center core of your being. And you just allow this image to absorb completely into your visual awareness. All right. You should start to glow a little bit around the edges. Deep, relaxed breaths. Breathing is super, super important. Now take 3 deep inhalations and exhalations. And when you're done with the 3rd exhalation, gently relax, close your eyes. Now, with your eyes closed, continue to breathe deeply and relaxed. Allow the afterimage of this tattva and the Hebrew letter Zayin to simply float within your inner retinal vision. Done correctly, you will note the letter is more like white now, and that circle is bluish, and the square is an orangish color. This is most easy the more relaxed you are. You're not forcing anything or straining. The more relaxed you are, the more clearly the afterimage will come into view for you. Breathing relaxed, remember one pointed focus, and then you simply relax and allow the afterimages to float within your inner retinal field. So use this week. Practice this a few times, a few nights this week before you go to sleep. You can do this in conjunction with or by itself for your core practice this week. And before you go to sleep, ask the subconscious to reflect to you the messages, guidance, and blessings of the higher self. All right, when everyone's ready, simply, if you haven't already, you can gently open your eyes and give your attention to our key for the week. Very relaxed. Let's focus on our key for the week and just see where your attention is most drawn. And when you're ready, one at a time, unmute yourselves and please share what occurs to you. In Zayin, the lover's key.
Well, I'm here in Arizona, and I seem to have brought the snow with me. They haven't had any precipitation here in a while, but I'm in Cottonwood in the mountains of Arizona, near
Sweet.
Sedona,
Huh?
near Sedona. And those clouds over the mountain remind me of that today.
Lovely. Very nice. Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah. What with the stars, the planets aligning, I feel very much in sync with the stars these days.
Lovely.
Well, that could be a mountain or it could be part of the robe.
Interesting. Okay. That's an interesting observation, Nancy.
I often think that has to do with the with God and the Mount of Sinai, speaking from the clouds to
Mm,
the prophet Moses.
excellent. Yes. It's interesting that each figure are kind of pointing their hands towards the top of this structure.
Well, again, the hands are kind of lined up.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In a cube.
Interesting. Okay, one could absolutely see that. I can, yes. And uh it's almost as if the angel's directions and the male and the female in the image make the lines of the Star of David, or the interlocking above and below, which is the number 6 tarot key. So that's nice.
It kind of makes the pattern of the paths on the tree from the eastern face.
That's a
The
really
M.
cool observation. Yeah, so say more to that.
You have the pillar of mercy,
Yes,
which is
and it's
the
lit, it's on
intuition,
fire, right?
I know. But you
and
know
then
what?
the pillar of severity would be the chariot, which is the green serpent.
Okay. Yeah, it's bearing fruit over here, right?
The green, yeah. I was just thinking the green, and then
Oh, I see. Okay.
I was just kind of thinking out loud there, but the emperor and the lovers key here come together on to come to the pinnacle point, which meets up with beauty, or sorry, the
Interesting.
Tiferet,
Yes. Right.
which is the number of this key, which is the 6.
Yes. Okay.
So
Excellent.
it's a convergence of some sort,
Right.
which is interesting because this is discrimination, which you would think of as the opposite of that, more like pulling things apart, not so much bringing them together. But this
Hmm.
key seems to be discrimination for the purpose of of bringing things together, not pulling them apart.
That's a really interesting point. That's well said. I like that. I think it's worth noting that the roots that you kind of see going through just under the ground, it appears as if the trees are connected underground.
I'll offer, and the tip on this one is good too. So.
The green snake reminds me of the green trim on the teacher's robe.
Ah, good pickup. Yes, they're absolutely related.
I almost see that this looks like it's at night, but the sun is shining.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're kind of under the shadow of the wings here, right?
Mm.
Why
What do we
is
make of that?
Sorry.
Sorry, you go ahead, Teresa.
Why is Raphael's left arm more exposed than his right?
That's a good question. Good
Does it have
question.
to do with healing?
Well, that's
Healing and
probably a good guess.
healing and mercy over severity. Just I don't know. One sleeve is more exposed. One arm is more exposed.
Yeah, and the tree that their arm is exposed over is on fire.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
something comes to my mind, and it is in regards to having too much mercy
Hmm?
can lead to demise or to one's demise. Um, and I don't know why that comes to me because the mercy tree is on fire.
Hmm.
And so I don't know, that's just what comes to me.
That's
Okay.
good. Yeah, because this card's about balance.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
that just comes to me like it's off. Like if there's too much of one, then
Good.
I wonder if there's a significance to the number of fruit on the tree of severity.
Yeah, what do you make of that?
5 senses.
Very good. That is the traditional Kabbalistic interpretation. Yes, the senses. This is, you know, this is how we experience life, right? And in this world through the senses. And it's definitely worth contemplating. And when you visualize the key within, really see those fruits as ripened. See, you can see that they're very ripe in this key.
The nakedness also speaks to the cutting away of
Yeah.
the removal of things that prevent us from seeing ourselves clearly.
Yes, absolutely. This is completely accepting ourselves as we are.
Mm.
We're not trying to hide anything here. See, they're literally open-armed, open-handed, being receptive, and like, here I am. This is me.
Now, on the tree of mercy, there are 12 leaves. Do they correspond to the astrological signs?
They absolutely do. Good pickup. And they each have 3 little flames on them, don't they? Which are the 3 gunas, or if you will, or the 3 modes, the Trinity
Mm-hmm.
in all things.
If I just look back and look at the colors, is what I like to do.
Mm-hmm.
I see love. They're standing in the love.
Yes.
There's the cloud of the God realized self, the purple attainment, the red wings of action, the Kundalini force on the left side, the feminine, with the senses enlivened, and then the masculine side, Holy Spirit, the law, you know, like it's really balanced, but it's to me it's very purple, all based on the attainment of the balance between all of that to come to the realization of God.
Lovely. Well
Well,
said, Rachel.
isn't purple the color mastery of the priesthood?
It is definitely associated with the priesthood.
The royalty,
Yes.
purple.
Yes, right. It's
Yeah.
being one of the higher wavelengths of color we perceive.
Is that more a bishop color? Because blue is priest, right?
The mastery, you receive a ring with purple stones in it.
Right. Yeah.
Lovely. Okay.
And
Anyone else have anything to share?
of course, the Kundalini, as Rachel mentioned, is green. So it's brought up safely. And the head is at the same point as the woman's face, her head. So it's fully risen up.
Yes.
And we have fire on the other tree.
Yes.
Spirit.
So action, activity. So this is active card. They're just standing, but it's all the fire
Yes.
I
is
think
active.
it's screaming Holy Spirit. Don't you think?
Well, it's interesting
It's
that
not.
you say that.
Well, I see that as the conscious mind. If you take the angel, you could say with the Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit,
Mm-hmm.
with the female for manifestation. And the Son is always the quote, the doer. The conscious mind is the one that sets up what's going to be done. And the female is the manifestation of that.
Mm-hmm.
And since she's fully enlightened and has her eye on the angel, you have the perfection of the law
Mm-hmm.
in action.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Because
which angel is that supposed to be?
Which one do you think it is?
Raphael or
Yes.
Gabriel?
This is Raphael.
Raphael.
Yes. And
healer.
Raphael is a healer.
Yeah.
correct. Correct. God has healed is the interpretation of the name Ra-Fa-El. And this is associated with breath and air. The astrological sign is Gemini,
And the planet is Mercury.
ruled by Mercury. Yes. The
That
winged
represents the
messenger.
mind.
The winged messenger closest to the sun.
No, and Mercury is the symbol for superconsciousness.
Yes. Awesome.
Is that why his sleeve is down? Because the fire is, the fire of healing in the hand, the energy.
Mhm.
What do you think?
Well, I think that's a good thing to meditate on.
Okay.
Each side of the sleeve and each aspect of the key that it falls on is really good to focus on that and give it your, really breathe that imagery in deeply. And, on this side, this is just passion, but it's risen. This
Mhm.
passion has burned the tree, all the branches are on fire with desire, the fire of
And
life.
the tree is fully burned. It's black.
Yes.
Okay, so the Ansafor is black.
Yes.
So this would be the most pure.
Hmm.
It's pre-duality, and you have the flames on it.
Hmm.
So I always see black as more pure than even the duality of light and black.
Okay.
So it's coming from a place, the mind of the male is coming from a very pure, active place.
Right. Look where his gaze is.
It's right on her.
Not just her. He's looking directly into her eyes.
Yes.
Now,
Power.
that's very
Or-
pure. And what's he seeing? He must be seeing what's being reflected. And where is she looking?
At Raphael.
This is the proper relationship. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
This
The
is
triangle, God and the
yeah, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Yeah.
yes.
So that's an interesting concept there, because we've always been taught that the woman looks to the male, and the male is the line to authority.
Yeah.
So in this instance, the male is looking to the woman, and the woman to the spirit.
Yes.
That's
Rachel,
right.
did you have something, or are you just drawing on the screen? So good point, Patrick. So to that point, I want everyone to remember every figure in this key is an aspect of your being. your self-conscious being. This is all about you. Oftentimes, we take our desires and passions and we project them out into the world, onto what we perceive as other people. These are the primary aspects of our whole consciousness in proper relation one to the other. All right, you guys have made some awesome observations. I've
And
got to
I
move
had
forward.
one
Yes.
thing about the cloud. Okay, the cloud, when you put it in one of these pictures, means what's above it is not seeable. But
Yes.
so he's looking at it, but she knows there's something beyond the cloud.
Well, she can actually. She's got a little bit of
She can
line of
see,
sight.
yeah. So she's connected to the higher
Yes,
worlds. And
absolutely.
yeah, so her manifestations would be pure and clear.
Yes, absolutely. Excellent. Thank you all. All right. Thank you all for your brilliant insights and sharing. I know we could spend a lot more time here, but you can do that this week with your core practice. Now, remember, in the tarot, particularly in the major arcana, every key is showing us our same self, only from a different aspect. These are like the different facets on a diamond or a gem. The one self that you are, that we are, is shown most directly in this key as the sun, directly above. And our superconscious aspect or helper here is the Archangel Raphael. These are very real beings that assist us and part of us. Then we have the subconscious, which is shown here as the archetypal Eve. But this is your subconscious. And the archetypal man or male or self-conscious mind is shown here as Adam. And this is the basically the Garden of Eden scenario. Now, to that, it's worth really pondering this week in the creation myth of Genesis that in the beginning, remember, Adam was alone, right? And Eve came from within Adam. Okay? This key shows the reunification of all the aspects of your being within you, taking all those passions we usually project outward onto persons, objects, scenarios, whatever, and bringing them back together. But the sword divides these aspects so that we can see it more clearly and gain greater understanding. So again, alchemy is the reunification of the aspects of our being with our superconscious self, merging back into our primal unity, which is the way of spiritual evolution. In Cabala, Adam Kadmon means the primordial man. And this is our being as we are completely in our unified state prior to all the creations that come about from the division of the one. The Lover's Key is absolutely beautiful, and it shows the primary aspects of our consciousness within creation in harmony and appropriate relationships each to the other within. So again, you are the whole key, the whole enchilada. All right. Moving forward here on the tree, speaking of the tree, this is Zayin connects the sphere of Bina, the divine mind, or the super subconscious of the all, to the heart of the tree, the sphere of beauty. So, in most simple terms, working with this key, you can expect to connect to understanding and beauty. Remember, real beauty is the very real light within. And reality expresses itself in endless forms of beauty. It's its nature. It is the nature of the real to express itself in beauty. Can someone please state the number 6 truth about the self on the pattern on the trestle board? Anyone?
In all things, great and small.
While I see the beauty of the divine expression.
All right. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Starlet. So, yes, in all things, great and small, I see the beauty of the divine expression. So, what's intimated here, one thing is that Tiferet has to do with vision. All right. This week, when you're working with your core practice, start a dialogue and nurture a dialogue with your own subconscious mind. Okay? You're using this key. Speak to your own subconscious mind here as if you are the self-conscious aspect here, full of passions and desire. Be very real and candid with yourself, no matter what it is. You know, Michael brought up some wonderful lessons recently. He talked about asking yourself, what do you love? Be honest with yourself. You know, you're free to say whatever you want to say to anyone else, but do not deceive yourself about what you really love and desire, no matter what it is. And speak to the aspect here of Eve, your own subconscious, with love, with passion. Tell your subconscious how beautiful she is and how much you appreciate all the work that she does to assist you in remembering your true self and all the things she does. Combined with this key in holding it in your inner vision while you do this, you might be really surprised to see how responsive your own subconscious is to this type of dialogue. You simply have to direct your self-conscious awareness in that direction. And then ask your subconscious here to show you what she sees or what the higher self wishes for you to see. Make requests and then be still, just like the teacher key, and wait for what comes. This is a skill. You are learning to commune with yourself in beauty and with life itself. This is very much like the teaching Margot gives all the time of show me more. You can ask the subconscious in this key, particularly, show me more about this, what your passion is. Let her guide you from But here's the most important thing. Make it crystal clear to her, state it clearly, that you expect her to get and give you only information that comes only from self, from the highest aspect of your being or reality or love. It's very important. It's very important you make that one condition when you're working with this key and speaking to, making requests for your subconscious. But I want you to really nurture that relationship within yourself as you work with this key this week. Remember to make your intention to wake up in your dreams. Thank you all for your light and participation. This concludes this portion of our class from the current of Zayin, lucid dreaming in the cube of space. The floor is now open for any questions or comments.